Today's video, we'll look into a scenario in which, we'll continue our Kaiser Ross series. Not Kaiser Ross, World of Red France series. See, really weird. And both sides have entered a Cold War. They're both trying to get above the other. They both want one above the other. And so the Democratic League offers these two nations to work with them. Well, Libya decides to join the Commune League along with, not them, they don't. Wait, they probably do, because it probably got probably similar to them. They liberated them, which also leads to them getting another friend. These two decide to join. Communism is popular, and not because they're communist. Just because a nation joins the Communist League doesn't mean they're communist. They are close to communist or communist. But they can also be sometimes outside of the ideology, sometimes depends on the situation. Like, let's say if they help them out militarily in the past, yes. With the West Africa League and South West Africa League joining. Along with, well, a few of these nations start joining. With Venezuela joining them and Mexico joining them. But here, this is the neutral area, no sides allowed to cross. So what happens is, Iran, they decide not to do anything with, but in Chad, they fund a coup, which the government doesn't expect, but so the coup marches in to take their capital, which I believe is in this area. Quickly captures it, and not long after, the full country bows to communism. And after they bow to communism, well, the Commune League gains them. A coup is launched in Congo, leading to a communist victory, but they decide at this point to be careful, because they are overthrowing countries. Not really a smart idea sometimes. As Panama, Costa Rica's democracies start joining them in this area, a plan is to launch a coup in Brazil, which they know is extremely risky. As Brazil is split on communism and democracy. It is a democracy, but its people are split. And well, as you can see, the communists have an advantage now. They have that. Yeah, that's advantageous to them. Well, as the Cold War builds up, this is what... There'll probably be a Brazilian civil war soon at the rate it's going. But South Africa, not South Africa, this is Indochina, which is Southeast Asia, and Malaysia decided to join the Democratic League, followed by Indonesia, Timor. I'm just going to call it Timor East. East Timor. Yeah, it's East Timor. What it is. And well, they all join. Papua New Guinea decides to join. Why, you may ask? Because they're Papua New Guinea. Why wouldn't they? With Brazil being on the risk of splintering in two, with the South versus the North. Well, they managed to get Chile and Argentina. At this rate, their holdings in this region is getting better and better. Which France knows they need an ally in this region. But overall, there's not much happening. And now for the Angolan Civil War. Within the North, the followers of communism end up like this, as they decide to go to war with the rest of the nation, which the Democratic League starts sending help to them, but at this point, that's what they do first, and they start moving in the North using really effective war strategies, which leads to their victory. And so they annex the South, being at this point a contest of how many allies can you get. With them getting Lesotho, Eswatini, Botswana, and Zambia. Malawi too. But unfortunately for Zambia and Mozambique, they end up in a civil war. The North supports one side in one of the countries, while it's opposites in both. as you can see. And with at this point, a democratic nation struggle. Well, the first offensive, they both team up to do this, to take it out, with it surrendering. But as it starts its invasion here, it starts to struggle. March forwards in the southern part of Mozambique. But after a while, the plans start overcoming as they start sending more forces. And so let's see the peace treaties. As you can see, the Commune League is expanding rapidly through any means necessary. We can clearly see any means necessary. Democracies just let them choose. But they do fight for the freedom of democracy. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. With a few of Africa nations joining, including Ghana, Equatorial Guinea, Rwanda, Burundi, Madagascar, and these two small nations. But the West Africa League starts trying to get them to join it. And they get this. And the last nation that's willing to join them is Uruguay, with a coup happening in Paraguay going communist. Well, Bolivia's couped too. Well, Sweden, not wanting to come to a similar fate, decides to join the Democratic League. Ireland just wants to stay neutral. With them being able to get Guinea, but not Guinea, that's Guatemala and El Salvador. They get a lot, but then at this point it stops really. Bahamas is the last nation to help the US. The rest are like, no. And then they manage to get Qatar, not the UAE, which bows to neutrality. At this point, you can see really all that's left is what will happen to Brazil, which is very divided. Will it survive, or will it have a civil war? It's hard to say at this point, but that's pretty much all for the... Wait, I got one thing to do. With Nepal and Bhutan deciding to join with the communists, as the Communist Party in the nation got 52% of the support. Yeah. With them managing to get the majority through it. Well, that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys. Why should you subscribe? So we can get to 3,000 subscribers by December 25th, which is in like 17 days? 19 days? 18 days. Bye, guys.